When tackling the challenge of juggling a chaotic schedule or managing multiple projects at once, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, whether you're just starting out or have been trying to stay on top of things for a while. This feeling of being overwhelmed is something many professionals experience, especially when deadlines are looming and tasks never seem to end. The thought of figuring out where to start can be paralyzing, especially when the workload seems out of control. But it's important to understand that these feelings are a common part of the process and shouldn't stop anyone from moving forward. Instead of letting this feeling of being overwhelmed take over, it's important to face it head on. Before you lose motivation and succumb to frustration, consider implementing strategies to simplify the process, making it more accessible, no matter how daunting it may seem at first. The first strategy can be one of the most effective ways to get you started on the path to a more organized and efficient workflow. The impact of where you begin is often the most significant when embarking on any journey to create order, whether in your personal space or your mind. Organizing isn't solely about rearranging physical items. It's also deeply connected to your emotional and mental state. This isn't meant to add to your stress, but rather to highlight the importance of choosing the right starting point for your journey. The choices you make at the outset can have a profound effect on your success. Allow me to explain. The feeling of being overwhelmed can create barriers that make it hard to decide on a starting point, leaving you stuck in indecision about what steps to take and how to proceed. To steer clear of this paralysis, it's often most effective to begin in an area where you can quickly see progress and experience positive results. For instance, focusing first on tasks that are manageable yet impactful can boost your motivation and give you the momentum needed to continue, even when the task seems daunting. Perhaps this starting point is reorganizing your work desk, which might lead to increased productivity and a clearer mind. Or it could be tackling that overflowing inbox that's been causing you stress. For some, it might even begin with setting boundaries in personal relationships, creating a sense of emotional space that allows for mental clarity. Starting with a small but meaningful change, like implementing a new daily routine or clearing out a specific area of your home, can have a ripple effect, leading to more significant improvements in your overall well-being. You not only create a more organized and peaceful environment, but also set the stage for broader transformations that can positively affect various aspects of your life. One highly effective technique for managing tasks is the timed burst strategy. This involves setting a timer for a specific duration, such as to 15 or 30 minutes, and focusing intently on the task at hand during that time. Once the timer ends, take a short break to refresh. For instance, if working on a complex garden project like weeding or planting, using this method can make the task feel more achievable. By dedicating short, intense periods to working in the garden and then stepping away for a rest, the work becomes less overwhelming and more manageable. When tackling a pile of emails or documents that need sorting, working in focused intervals can enhance productivity. Set a timer. Handle as many emails or documents as possible within that period, and then take a break. This keeps the process organized and prevents the feeling of being buried under a mountain of tasks. Applying this approach helps break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable parts, reducing stress and making progress feel more attainable. So set that timer, dive into the task, and enjoy the clarity that comes with completing each focused session. Understanding the difference between decluttering and organizing is key to effectively managing your home. Organizing can improve the efficiency of your space, but it won't solve the core issue if there's too much clutter. Trying to organize a messy room without first clearing out unnecessary items is like attempting to tidy a cluttered drawer by simply adding more dividers. You're not addressing the root problem. For instance, if a kitchen is overflowing with unused utensils and expired pantry items, buying new storage containers won't solve the problem. The real solution is to first declutter by removing items that are no longer needed or are expired, which will make organizing the remaining items much more effective. Likewise, if a closet is packed with clothes that haven't been worn in years, adding more hangers or bins won't fix the underlying issue. The real step is to go through the clothes, donate what's no longer needed, and then organize the remaining items in a way that maximizes space and accessibility. When feeling overwhelmed, it's easy to think that organizing is the answer. The immediate temptation is to sort and arrange what's already there, hoping that it will bring a sense of order. This might involve buying new shelving or organizing bins, but these measures often only mask the problem without solving it. To truly manage the feeling of being overwhelmed, it's important to start with decluttering. Begin by removing items that no longer serve a purpose or contribute to the mess. Once the excess is cleared out, organizing becomes a more meaningful and effective process, helping create a space that is both functional and pleasant to live in. Establishing a consistent cleaning routine can significantly ease the burden of maintaining a tidy space. By dedicating just a few minutes each day or week to cleaning, you can effectively manage clutter and prevent the stress of feeling overwhelmed by messes. Imagine dedicating a small portion of each day to tidying up, such as wiping down kitchen surfaces after meals or quickly sorting through mail. These brief, regular efforts can accumulate into a well-maintained environment, reducing the need for time-consuming deep cleaning sessions. Over time, these small habits become second nature, ensuring that messes are kept in check before they escalate. Alternatively, setting aside a specific day each week for focused cleaning tasks, like organizing a closet or dusting high surfaces, can also be highly effective. This strategy creates a sense of routine and control, making it easier to manage larger cleaning tasks when they arise. Incorporating these manageable, consistent cleaning practices into daily or weekly routines, the need for extensive cleaning marathons diminishes, and maintaining a clean space becomes a seamless part of life. To effectively manage the decluttering process, focusing on yourself is essential. Various factors can contribute to the feeling of being overwhelmed. For example, an overflowing pantry filled with expired food items might seem like an insurmountable challenge if there's no clear plan to tackle it. Additionally, the emotional weight of old family heirlooms or sentimental objects can make letting go feel like losing a piece of personal history, adding to the stress. A common issue is the tendency to see the entire decluttering task as one enormous project, rather than breaking it into smaller, more manageable parts. Imagine facing a chaotic kitchen where every drawer and cabinet is disorganized. Trying to address it all at once can lead to frustration and inaction. Instead, focusing on one drawer or cabinet at a time can make the process more achievable. Consider this similar approach to tackling a complex renovation project. One wouldn't attempt to remodel an entire house in one go. Instead, focusing on one room, like the kitchen, finishing it, and then moving on to another area, such as the living room, makes the task more manageable and less overwhelming. Applying this strategy to decluttering involves breaking down the task into smaller sections. For instance, start with organizing just the kitchen countertops or sorting through a specific drawer before tackling larger areas. This method prevents feelings of being overwhelmed and helps maintain momentum. Transforming cleaning into a more enjoyable task can be as simple as creating an energizing soundtrack. Curate a playlist of your favorite lively songs or engaging podcasts to listen to while you clean. Having the right background audio not only elevates your mood, but also makes the process feel less like a chore and more like a productive break. Imagine preparing for a big event and needing to organize decorations and supplies. With a playlist of upbeat music or a captivating podcast series in the background, the time spent arranging becomes an opportunity to unwind and enjoy. This not only keeps the momentum going, but also makes the whole experience more pleasant. A well-chosen podcast or your favorite tracks can help the time fly by and keep the energy levels high. So gear up your playlist, press play, and watch how it transforms your cleaning time into a much more satisfying experience. Successfully navigating decluttering involves trusting the process and steering clear of second-guessing decisions. Dealing with the emotional aspects of decluttering, especially when sentimental attachments are involved, can make the process daunting. Imagine facing the task of reorganizing a cluttered home library. Instead of letting the overwhelming number of books paralyze decision-making, focus on what will truly enhance the space. For instance, if there's a collection of books that haven't been touched in years, it's useful to evaluate their relevance to current interests and needs. This approach helps in making informed decisions about which books to keep and which to donate, making the space more functional and enjoyable. Another scenario could be managing an overcrowded garage filled with tools and equipment. Rather than getting bogged down by the sheer volume of items, it's effective to sort through them with a focus on utility. Determine which tools are frequently used and which are gathering dust. This decision-making process not only frees up valuable space, but also ensures that the tools kept are truly valuable and necessary. In both cases, the solution lies in breaking down the task into minimizing steps and focusing on practical outcomes. For the library, start by categorizing books into groups like must keep and can donate, and then proceed with sorting each group. For the garage, group items based on their usage frequency and organize accordingly. To prevent second-guessing and maintain momentum, set clear criteria for decisions. For example, if considering a sentimental item like a family photo album, ask whether it aligns with current priorities and whether it contributes positively to the space or overall well-being. Realizing that decluttering is a positive step can transform how it's approached. Often the process seems overwhelming because it's unnecessarily complicated. Instead, think of decluttering as organizing items according to their rightful place. For instance, consider a kitchen where utensils are scattered everywhere. Decluttering means sorting them into their proper drawers or getting rid of those that no longer serve a purpose. Similarly, managing a home office cluttered with old documents and supplies involves deciding which items are useful for current projects and which should be discarded or archived. This method ensures that everything in the office is functional and accessible. Ultimately, the decision to keep or let go of items rests with the individual. The goal isn't to force the removal of cherished belongings, but to encourage a process that helps in focusing on what's truly valuable. By clearing out the excess, it becomes easier to find and appreciate the essentials. If these insights offer clarity, sharing them with friends or family who may also benefit could be valuable. Keep pushing forward, embrace continuous improvement, and stay aligned with what truly matters. Looking forward to connecting in future discussions. All the best.